I'm going to tell you how funny it is to read a book in English for the first time, okay? So stay tuned. When I was 13, I went to spend my vacations with friends of the family. It's an American family, and they only had books in English. I don't remember why we were not leaving the house much, but everybody was doing a lot of reading all the time, and I didn't have any books in Portuguese. So I said, well, I will have to read in English. And I did love to read. So reading was not a problem. Reading in English was possibly a difficulty because I had never done it before. I had read many articles and texts in English for my English lessons, but not an official book that was not demanded by a teacher, see. So then I asked my friend, who was my age, to lend me a book. And I said, Yara, that's her name, Yara Royster. And I said, can you please send me one of your books, but please choose it carefully. It has to be an easy book, and it has to be a book that I will be able to read. So I was 13. I was probably not even an intermediate English student yet. See, I was going through my course, which I finished when I was 17. So see, my English must have been really low. And then she went there to her library. She considered everything really carefully, and finally she came up with a book that was not even thin. It was like this thick. And she said, this is an easy reading, and it's a catchy book. So I believe you will want to continue reading because of the story. And I'm right here sitting next to you. If you have any questions, just ask me, right? So yeah, this friend was one of my English teachers. I started reading the book. Now this is the funny part. I read the first page. Oh, okay, I understand most of the things. There are some words I don't know, but no problem. I will just try to understand the context because one of my teachers had already told me to do that. I was quite confident I was going to do it. Cool. So I turned the page, and there I saw the same word I didn't understand in 3 different moments of the second page. And I was, this word is important. And I think I don't understand the context anymore because it depends on that word I don't know. Let me see how many times this word will appear. And then okay, so it appears all the time. I might as well ask my friend. And then I said, Yara, what does it mean? And then she said, I don't know. Can you say that again? And you know that when somebody says, can you repeat what you have just said, the first thing as English students that we think of is, oh my goodness, I'm saying it wrong. She doesn't understand what I'm saying because I can't pronounce it. And then that's what I was thinking, and I was like, okay, so I repeated the word, and she said, okay, just don't understand. Can you spell it for me? And then I did. And after I finished spelling, she was like, I don't know what that is. And I was, and she said, can you read the sentence for me? I read the sentence, and then, listen to this. This is hilarious. It's embarrassing and hilarious. And then she said, Flavia, this is the name of the character in the book. Do you understand anything that you're reading at all? And I was like, well, I think I will start understanding much more now. And I did. I mean, when I saw that word I didn't know was the name of a character, and it was a weird name, guys, because if it were a common name, I would have understood, right? But it was one of those names you never think it's a name, possibly, because I don't even remember which book I was reading. I just remember the story. And then when I understood that was the name of the character, and I could place the character in the situations, everything was clearer. And then I could realize that whenever I didn't understand a word, it could be a character. And that opened my eyes and grabbed my attention, so I started reading better. Of course, I did ask her for the meaning of words many times. But, you know, the frustration of not understanding words was left behind that day. Because it's okay not to understand a word, get it through the context, and find out it was a character in the end, right? I was 13. I was reading my first book in English. I read it all. I loved the book, and I read many others. So if you have never read a book in English before, maybe this is the moment to start. Maybe my story will help you create the urge, right? You will feel like reading your first book in English, and I hope I did help you with that. Find something that you like, find a topic which is interesting for you, and go for it. Go for it. I mean, when I was 13 years old in 1980, and a long time ago, there was no internet. It was not easy for me to find out what words meant. That's such a lie. It was easy. I had a dictionary and I had a friend sitting next to me. Imagine now you can Google it on your phone, right? So go ahead, read your books in English, learn a lot of vocabulary, and go pass your CPE. My name is Flavia Costa. I am your CPE teacher. See you next class.